What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hooker Podcast, episode 106. We getting going. I wish people were got to see the right before we start. Maybe I should start throwing. Do you think I should?
Sometimes.
Do you think I should just start saving those and then, like, maybe one day in the future just have like a nice little fucking compilation of me just
being an absolute fool? Right into that.
Yeah.
just
I was about to say. We need to record those just so we have, behind the scenes.
They're always recorded. He starts this, like, fucking 10 minutes ago.
You need to save those.
Gotta find those nice solid 5 seconds before I get going. But we got a good amount of things to kind of talk about, but not really too much. It's one of those weekends. We had PFL, we had Bellator Dublin, UFC Fight Night Saudi Arabia.
Bellator and Saudi absolutely ran through basically the same times, like started the same time, essentially ended the same time. About 2 rounds later, there went Bellator. I didn't watch much of that.
Bellator was very full. For literally same time broadcast like that, because I don't know what happened. For sure, all week long, I'm looking at Topology, and UFC motherfucking said that shit was starting at 11 o'clock for me. I saw that shit the entire week, and then all of a sudden, fight day, nope, it started at 10 a.m.
No Topology picks this week. We all fucked up.
Yeah. It's okay. It happens. But we will get started with PFL 5. That is the first fight event that happened Friday night. It wasn't the greatest one going into it, and not realizing that it was in Salt Lake City was a very big mistake, because our hype and expectations would have been brought down much more, considering we had 205 pounds on the card.
Yeah, because the second I realized, I was like, oh, this makes sense, and now I have no more excitement.
It very noticeable. As soon as they said it, it's like, oh yeah, they're at elevation, and then everyone's getting tired round 2 and 3, and it's like, okay, yeah, this isn't great.
Oh, they're at elevation. Oh, fuck, they're at elevation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even in the 55 fights, you've seen it affecting them. The fighters were very ill prepared for this.
Yeah.
Did not have the most exciting results on the main card. The only finish came via at the end of the second round, doctor stoppage, Impa Kasanganay versus Jakob Nadeau.
And that should have been a stoppage anyway. The ref should have jumped in.
Yeah.
He was letting him hang in there. As soon as it was over, he just fell into the cage. Like, you knew that shit was over.
Yeah, it was over.
It was the knee that Jacob landed in the first round on Impa that had him hurt, right?
Yeah.
I kind of just forgot about that for a sec. But yeah, Jacob had him real hurt in the first round, opened up a cut on the side of his face with that. But it was that split second where I was like, oh man, Impa might get put out here. Because he was just bombing on him, going after him with big shots. And then as soon as he stopped and it slowed down for a second, it's like, oh, he might have done a little bit too much. And then that's when Jacob started putting it on him. Second round, Impa came out looking better though. Other than that, on the main card, we did have a lot of split decisions too. Bruno Miranda got the split over Patricky. Rob Wilkinson with the split over Josh Silveira. Just wasn't the most fun action throughout the night, honestly. Sadabu C on the prelims versus Andrew Sanchez. He was supposed to fight, who was it? Tom Breeze, that's who it was.
Yeah.
Tom Breeze pulls out. Andrew Sanchez was going to fight Carl Albrechtsen, so they scrapped that fight, put Andrew Sanchez in so Sadabu could stay on the card. Bro got so fucking tired, and that was one of the real noticeable early on.
Yeah, I think that's when we ended up hearing it too, and it was around there. It was like, oh, this is what's happening. Because, by round 2, he was exhausted. Round 3, bro, I'm surprised he was actually able to even get the finish, because Sadabu had him so hurt, but he had no energy or oxygen in him to do anything about it. I was like, bro, is he really going to get away with this? Andrew's just going to survive because Sadabu physically cannot muster up the energy to put him out. He steps back for a second, gets himself, lands a couple more shots, and the ref just ends up stepping in. He's like, nah, it's over. Yep. Sadabu drops to the ground, the biggest breaths of his life. It was so bad.
Yeah, man. It's like when you that a motherfucker is exhausted when they get the finish win and they drop to the floor right after. Hold up, guys. I
need a breath.
Yeah. Just
need a minute.
Crazy. It sucked though because he got the injury in his first fight against Josh Silveira. Third round finish, needed that first round finish in order to get into the playoff or the tournament bracket. So it sucked for him, but at least he got that win. So that's good.
Yeah, he could be a backup if anyone pulls out or something happens. Who knows?
Yep. So the tournament, like the brackets that we get at 205 and 155 pounds, we get Impa Kasanganay versus Josh Silveira, which I do believe that was the finals last year, right?
Oh, was it?
Yes. Yeah, Impa won by a unanimous decision.
Yeah.
So we get a rematch in that, and then on the other side of the bracket, we got Rob Wilkinson, another former champ, versus my boy Dovletyan Yagshi-Muradov. With those four fighters, who do you think is the one that's probably looking like they're gonna be coming out on top?
Well, I think the end result is gonna end up being Impa versus Rob Wilkinson.
You think so?
I do think so, because I think Impa's gonna beat Josh Silveira again. I think he's gonna, like, I just think he's a better fighter than him, and he's gonna do what he did last time. You
Over
know?
3 rounds too. I don't think it'll be be easier for him to get it done.
Yeah. Rob Wilkinson, I don't know. It's like Dovletyan is very solid, but like Rob definitely just a bit bigger than him and just has that power to put people out. Like, I know we went to the split with Josh Silveira. Josh Silveira is tough, and it was at Salt Lake City. So after first round, everybody was exhausted. Like, a lot of these decisions were expected. So let it be at not elevation, and I think that Wilkinson might be able to put him out.
That's very fair. I'm definitely leaning towards Dovletyan being able to get the takedowns and just like get the control time. Probably wins the decision. I mean, did get ground and pounded out by Corey Anderson, has been finished a few times by KO,
I know he's been
TKO
finished
before.
a couple times, so that's why I was just like, with his Wilkinson's like just size and physicality and just ability to put people out, I think he can get it done.
I did not realize that he was 4 inches taller than him.
Yeah.
And then an 80-inch reach to 70. Oh my goodness, that 8-inch reach advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be a problem for Dovletyan.
I didn't know the exact stats,
that.
but I knew that Dovletyan was undersized at 205.
Yeah,
Dovletyan is definitely more someone who would fit into a middleweight division than a light heavyweight division. It just sucks that they don't have a middleweight division in PFL.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm kind of just thinking that Rob can get it done. He also does have, like, he is able to grapple a little bit too, you know, it's not like he's a total schlub on the ground, so.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to Impa versus Wilkinson, I don't know how that's going to go. I think that's an interesting fight if that's how it ends up.
Didn't realize Dovletyan fought Magomed Ankalaev in Magomed Ankalaev's third fight.
Interesting. Yeah, that's...
no, I'm definitely also leaning towards the finals being Impa and Wilkinson.
It's like Wilkinson's only 2 losses come in the UFC, and one of them was to undefeated Israel Adesanya.
That was his debut at the time.
And that was only his second fight, you know what I mean? It was 11-1 to 11-0. He lost to a CR Bahaduraz.
Someone in
I don't know this man. I'm sorry. No, that was UFC too.
Well, but like someone who came from the regionals who I don't think was really that much into the UFC either.
Okay. I was just like, I don't know this man. It was that guy. It was Rob's debut. It was back in 2017.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So his 2 losses are there, and he's been on a great streak of finishing a whole lot of people. So I don't know. It might be kind of scary for Impa, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like, Impa might get finished here.
Because it's also, he's going to be very outsized compared to Wilkinson, that one too. Because he's also 5'11". 75-inch reach, not his short arms, but that's still...
But that's what I was going to say. Also, someone who formerly fought at welterweight, you know what I mean? He's in the 205 because of the lack of 185 division. It's like he's undersized here.
Bro,
he's been put out before too. It's just...
It's so crazy because it's like, in my head, like, I know that Dovletyan wasn't like the tallest, biggest guy or whatever, but it's like, in my head, he would be so much bigger than Impa, but it's so crazy that they're the same height and Impa's got a 3-inch reach advantage over him. Like, that's kind of insane. This might be Rob Wilkinson's year, man. He might get it done again.
Could be.
Because, I mean, to be honest, it's like, realistically, the only reason why it didn't happen last year is his shit got overturned. He failed for the drug test.
Yeah. And then because he won, did he win the year
he
before?
won 22.
Yeah,
Last year he got taken out of the contest, and now here he is. He's back, and he's looking fucking great. So
yeah, man, that
might be his year again. Only 32 too. It's not like he's an old guy.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that, yeah, if it does come down to Impa versus Rob, I'm just hoping for a really fun fight. And I think that they can deliver on that.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, the bracket for 205 is definitely looking pretty solid.
And then on the flip
Yes.
side,
I didn't even, bro. The 155 has been so fucking mid this year. It's kind of crazy. Number 1 seed, we got Brent Primus versus number 4 Clay Collard. And then 2 and 3, Gazi Rabadanov versus Michael Dufort. Brent, he got 2 wins. Gazi got 2 wins, both by decision. Hasn't been looking fun. Clay and Dufort both going 1-1. I no hype or expectation on this one at all. It would be so much better if Brent and Clay were on opposite sides. That could make it a bit more interesting. But it's also like,
it's like Gazi and Brent are just about to wrestle fuck their opponents, and then it's going to be a wrestling clinic in the playoffs.
I mean, who knows, man? Like, even though Brent did get it done against Solomon, like, dude was consistently hurt and rocked and, like, just wobbled throughout that fight.
Yeah.
Maybe Clay can put some fucking paws on him, like, just rip the body shots, rip a big, like, knee or punches up top and
Oh, yeah, it was Brent that literally started every round like he was on baby giraffe legs.
Yes.
Round 1, oh my goodness. Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yo. Yeah, dude was getting fucking mollywopped and fucking, it was terrible. But
like the first 40 seconds of round 1 specifically, bro was learning how to walk again. Baby giraffe legs all the way. He had no footing. It was so crazy.
I know, I'm just like, he'll be fine, he'll be good. And then I seen him like reach up for that clinch as he was so hurt. And I was like, oh, this dude's getting finished. But he hung in there, got the 3rd round sub, you know? The 3rd round, was it?
Yep, 3rd round RNC.
I just love that it's the jump to baby giraffe legs, not baby horse, not baby deer.
Have you ever seen a baby giraffe walk? That's what he looked like.
No, I haven't. That's the point.
Oh, you gotta
like that imagery.
You gotta look it up, buddy.
Oh man, but yeah, so that's what we're looking at the 155 bracket. Hopefully, it ends up being more fun than what we're thinking that it's gonna be, but. PFL 5 was definitely not the greatest night in PFL for sure.
Yeah, the fighter that I was most hyped for, I'm like, this could be his year. In Clay, no.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just one of those things where it's like he's not old, but just kind of getting fighter old, you know what I mean?
It's like he's 25 and 13 at the age of 31, you know what I mean? And that's just MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has a bunch of boxing fights as well.
Yep.
But that's PFL 5. We, as we mentioned, we did have Bellator Saturday morning as well with the UFC. Same fight start time. There wasn't really much going into this one that we were excited for anyway. Main event was, going on with main event of UFC and just other shit. So
hard to follow. Just hard to follow the whole time.
Yeah.
Ramazan Kuramagomedov versus Jason Jackson. Really started paying attention to this fight going into the 4th round. Jason definitely won those last 2 rounds, was looking real good, but the live odds were like minus 1,000 for Ramazan.
It was over that going in, so it was like, okay, he's clearly been winning the first 3.
Yeah.
He clearly won the first 3. Like, Jackson needed a finish.
Yep.
5th round, he had a couple of chances. He had a Darce choke. It looked like
that was so frustrating. To like, cause I think it was the 4th round when he like really tried to attempt it and just didn't get it. But the 5th round, Ramazan kept sitting in spots with his arms just in a perfect position for Jason Jackson to easily cinch up the Darce Anaconda anytime that he wanted to, and he just did not go for it. I don't know, man. Maybe it was just tired and he knew that he didn't have the squeeze to get it done or whatever, but it's like, it was just kind of crazy to see those openings right there and him just clearly needing a finish for the win and just not even attempting it. It's just take it, roll him over, and go for it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, the worst that it's going to be is you lose the position and it goes to the decision that you lost anyway.
You lost anyway, exactly. That's the biggest thing. Is rounds 4 and 5, he really needed to get it. And just get the finish. Finish or be finished. You're in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. You might as well be damned if you do, because at least you tried it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But Ramazan stays undefeated and is the new Bellator welterweight champion.
I know. I'm so sad. It just makes.
Yeah.
Jimmy wanted Jason Jackson to do good so bad so that it looked better that he beat and took Yaroslavzo.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
But it's like, let Ramazan be the next new undefeated guy doing well, you know?
Not allowed.
Just not right. It's just not right. But yeah, good for Kuramagomedov though.
If Bellator wasn't bought by PFL and PFL made Bellator absolutely a lot worse, especially their website, we might actually have rankings to where we'd be like, okay, he might fight this guy or that guy. We don't even have that anymore. So we don't even know who he could potentially be fighting next.
Yep. But yeah, let's go. That was the main event there. Like we said, didn't really pay attention to much. I was like a little bit with Paul Hughes and Bobby King in the co-main. The real thing that I kind of like paid attention to was like the finishing sequence where he second round got on top in mount and was just ripping elbows and punches on him, and there was one elbow that really cut open Bobby, had him leaking all over the place. Paul Hughes gets a very nice second round finish in his Bellator debut, so good for him as a pretty hype prospect.
I was about to say, I have nothing to say about this fight because I'm pretty sure this was happening as the co-main to UFC was happening. I was fully glued on that.
I think it was pretty lined up.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. So.
Wasn't great. Arlene Blenkow beat the shit out of Sinead Kavanaugh. She was getting dropped and rocked.
That.
Yeah.
Every time I looked over, she was just getting hit with big punches. It felt like it just.
Yeah, I think she ended up getting dropped like two. It was like 2 times, and then the standing guillotine just.
Yeah, Connor was at Bellator Dublin for that one in her corner and everything. It was funny. I forget exactly what Chandler said, but he like put out like a little tweet of just like him beating some Bellator guy, and I thought that was funny.
38 years, Sinead, 38 years old, 9-7 MMA record. Probably time to hang him up.
Making money. You know what I mean? One of them things.
I know, but...
She's a big name for like the Irish crowd and everything. I know like that. She's always been consistent there for Bellator, so probably see how that goes. But I wouldn't be surprised if PFL like ends up just dropping her or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Who knows? The only other real mention, honorable mention, Hassan Magomedsharipov. He was on this card. Younger brother of Zabit, 23 years old. Very solid unanimous decision over Tyler Matheson. It was just domination in the wrestling. The striking is there. Real good spin, like wheel kicks up top, like to the head and to the body that he landed throughout that fight. But yeah, 23 years old, moves on to 10-0. He will definitely be a problem in the future at 145 pounds. Well, that's pretty interesting. Nathan Kelly got a ninja choke. That was nice.
Yep.
But yeah,
Bellator.
Bellator Dublin, let's go. But now the real shit. The real shit to talk about that everyone wants to hear about, right? UFC Fight Night, Saudi Arabia. We finally got some more real good KOs on this card with the gloves. Who knows? Maybe
like all 3 of the knockouts were actually via the gloves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe it was a little bit of a overreaction at first because it was just 3 consistent cards of just not really any knockouts or anything, you know?
And a lot of eye pokes, but this time we had 3 knockouts and no eye pokes.
No eye pokes.
So
yeah.
Maybe
very
it's
nice.
Just level of fighters, like, and just like the weight classes as well, like we were saying, and also like you guys were pointing out throughout the card, and this is just the thing I want to point out, like, oh, there have been a lot of decisions this card, and it's like, yeah, there's also been a lot of grappling.
Yeah,
not a lot of striking out a distance.
No, yeah, that is definitely for sure. But to start at the top, main event, Robert Whittaker versus Ikram Aliskerov. Going into it, obviously we knew it was such a big jump up for Ikram. One of the big questions was, is this motherfucker going to grapple at all? Is he going to go out there and try and strike with good old Bobby Knuckles? I had the feeling that he was just going to do what he has been doing in the UFC and just start striking on the feet because he's very competent and very, like, he just believes in his skills there.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, what a mistake that was.
Yep.
The Whittaker showing the absolute difference in levels from a former champion, a top 5 fighter, to someone that has just got into the UFC, has not
had
fought
two unranked fighters.
Yeah, has not fought any real high level competition. Whittaker has literally been fighting the best in the world since I've been watching MMA in 2015.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and he's still at the fucking top of the division. A minute and 49 seconds gets it done. All it took was for Whittaker to just time the front kicks to the body that Ikram was trying to land on him. The first big right hand that he landed on him just wobbled him all crazy. Goes to follow up with the 1-2 head kick, doesn't land clean with that, and then just goes jab, right uppercut. That was just
beautiful.
It's like, and I wonder if it was just like, because obviously the opening, everything was just so clearly there for him to land it perfectly. But I also just wonder if just like, I don't know, one of those things of like, okay, short notice fight against Ikram. Let's see like what's about him. Oh, he has one loss to Khamzat Chimaev. What was that about? Oh, uppercut knockout. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and then dude just goes out there, last shot, uppercut, finishes off some ground and pound. Wasn't even needed. Ikram was done, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
The first shot just had him on skates.
Yeah, it really did. Like, just timing that the lead leg body kick, and just seeing, okay, when I feint in and dip in and actually blitz in, like this is what he's doing. Okay, cool. Reads it the first time, gets confirmation, then just goes in, lands that straight right, and just wobbles him. It was beautiful. I loved it.
I know.
So many people were talking shit, saying, "No, Robert's washed. He's chitty." I'm so glad that he got this done.
Yeah, for Robert Whittaker fans, that is such an amazing feeling. Like Ikram with so much hype just coming in, like because it's like hasn't fought anywhere near the level of competition, but is like dude just smashing these guys like it's nothing. You know, like the kind of wins where it's like okay, he has to move up quickly. You know. And Whittaker was just like, nah, sit the fuck down, man.
And that's just what sucks is because it's like Whittaker was just definitely too much of a jump. Obviously, short notice, he came to save the fucking main event.
Yeah.
But it's like they tried, man. Supposed to fight Paulo Nasruddin, Anthony Hernandez, and Andre Muniz, who's right outside the top 15. Like, all these fights fell out and ends up with Whittaker.
And just stylistically much better fights for him too, you know what I mean? Like Whittaker is just a hard motherfucker for anyone in this division to fight. It's like you have to be a elite level striker to like be able, or you know what I mean, or just like where Drekus, he just a absolute fucking powerhouse of a man that has good striking, you know. So with just the full rounded skill set to get it done, yeah, man, good for Whittaker though. So obviously going into this, it was supposed to be Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. Dana White saying the winner gets a title shot. Obviously, with him falling out and it becoming Ikram, I don't think that same guarantee still necessarily stands. What do you think goes with Whittaker next? What does he go next?
I mean, he did say like I do still think like the idea of him being the backup at Perth makes perfect sense. Whittaker was saying he would do it if he was healthy before the fight. Obviously, he's going to be healthy after that fight. Didn't take any damage. So, like, if they legitimately want to do that, that makes sense for them. Just because it's just like, it doesn't really, like, a backup spot really does not matter. Like, unless someone pulls out, that's the only time it matters. You know what I mean? So, I think that's possible. But in all honesty, I do like him versus Strickland. I've liked that fight for a long time. Or him versus someone like Nasruddin Imavov or Brendan Allen, who are below him in the rankings, but we need to get people at least trying to move into like actual, like Imavov needs another fight to get into an actual title shot, so that fight also makes sense for him as well.
Nah, yeah, it's definitely hard with just where the division is at. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing him in a title fight, you know, next, just fighting the winner of DDP or Izzy for the rematch with DDP or the trilogy with Izzy, but I feel like to fight below him in like the Paulo Costa fight, takes that, gets a good win over there, and then was gonna fight below him again, taking on Khamzat, and then still now has to fight an unranked guy on short notice in Ikram. It's like dude really should be fighting up, and it's like if he doesn't get the title shot, it should be Sean Strickland.
Which I think makes perfect sense for a #1 contenders fight, because like Strickland's last win, like, okay, everyone's like, "Oh, he should get a rematch." It's like, okay, I get that, but at the same time, his last win now is also Paulo Costa, who had just been coming off the loss to Whittaker.
Exactly.
So if we're giving it to him off of that Paulo win, why wouldn't we have given it to Whittaker off that Paulo win? Like,
Yeah. it you know, I mean, with that, it's one of those things of just like what the fans want and shit like that. But it's like, it's just one of those things too, where fans are like, oh, like, yeah, they want to see Strickland in these matches more. But it's like, are you gonna say that Strickland versus Drekus or Izzy in rematches is gonna be a more entertaining fight than Whittaker in those ones?
Yes.
Like,
yeah, Whittaker is going to be more entertaining. Also, like, I really want to, like, I actually, like, really want the Strickland-Whittaker matchup, just because that is such an interesting dichotomy in styles.
Yeah, man.
Like, how does Whittaker do against the way that Strickland fights? How does Strickland deal with the way that Whittaker blitzes? Because, like, Strickland does struggle with people who pressure him back. So, like, when he blitzes in, how's he going to deal with that? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a really interesting fight.
No, yeah, just super tight defense of Strickland, and yeah, the blitzing offense of Whittaker. Like, yeah, man, that's so fun.
Yeah, and especially because Whittaker will probably be a bit more active. So let's say like Whittaker doesn't get him out of there, he can easily win the decision over him by just doing more.
Yeah,
like it's happened to Sean so many times.
Yeah, and exactly, and it's not like he's Paulo where he's gonna struggle over 5 or something. You know, it's like Whittaker can easily go 5. He's done it many times before. Dude fucking beat Yoel Romero twice over 5 rounds. You know what I mean? Like,
no, exactly.
Yeah,
I think the only reason people wouldn't want to see this is just they like a lot of the Strickland fans, they really enjoy the build up to the fights. What can you say about fucking Whittaker?
Yeah,
like, I feel like Strickland actually like respects.
I mean, not for nothing, but Strickland had nothing to say about Paulo either, really. Like, there was not much shit talk. Like, he was just like, I like the guy, man. Like, he's funny. Like, you know what I mean? There was not much to say. And Paulo, especially when the person you're fighting, all he's saying is, I'm tan and beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, what are
exactly? Like,
how do you
Whittaker's
argue?
just so respectful. He's just like, look, we're gonna go. Like, that's the thing. They're both gonna go out there and say, we're gonna go to war, but only one of them actually means it, and it's not the guy who's ranked number 1 right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely love to see Whittaker versus Strickland. Whittaker in title fight, anything. Great fucking win for him, man. For Ikram, obviously super rough. Wondering what his chin might actually be like at just the highest level. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, he just might not have the best chin, because it was literally the first good punch that Whittaker landed, and dude was wobbled all sorts of crazy. Who knows if also, like we were saying in the preview, with just like starting to cut weight last week, having to redo it and everything, that could also be a factor. You never know.
And all that, exactly. Like, in terms of like the actual fight, like in terms of like the X's and O's, I don't think that changes at all. Just because he had a full fight camp, like he had the cardio, like he can't try to say any of that stuff. Right?
Yeah.
So, but like in terms of the weight cut and all that, and his chin, that might be a thing. Who he gets next is where it gets interesting, I think.
I think they should just go back to probably the Andre Muniz fight.
That's exactly.
It's like he's the one that's outside the ranking. He's not like this big striker, but he's a very solid fighter.
Yes.
Where it's like we could just see how he does against him, and if he looks good, then go back to someone like 12 to 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that literally exactly what I had in my mind, because he's not, like you said, not a devastating striker, so you don't have to worry about that, but he's gonna press the grappling with Ikram, so you're gonna get to see that skill set. And then it's like, didn't Muniz get TKO'd by Paul Craig? So it's like, you know what I mean? He's Ikram easily should be able to get the finish over him with the hand. So I think that's the perfect
matchup. Yeah,
100%. Moving on, though, from that very solid main event to this co-main event. Ooh, I was so not expecting this. Motherfucking Volkov tricked the entire fucking world to thinking that he couldn't do shit to Pavlovich, because
this man.
Dude was so fucking confident in everything. His corner was combing his hair in the fucking in between rounds, just like, you're doing so good. Let's make you look nice and pretty for this next one, brother. Like,
It's just crazy because, yeah, leading up to it, talking about every time they've trained together and they sparred, he's never won a single round against him. He's scared to fight him. He didn't want to fight him. Like, obviously, there was a lot of talks about how they were tricked into fighting each other. Both told that the other person had signed the fight when they didn't sign the fight. Just like Volkov feeling like he didn't really have an option other than to fight him, you know? Just all of this stuff making it seem like, damn, like, Sergey might really come out here and just one punch this man. Like, he doesn't seem like he wants to fight him, you know? And then, yeah, easily won this decision, 30-27 across the board. Like,
no, yeah. And I'm starting to wonder, because I've seen a lot of, like, videos of Volkov's, like, you know, like, him on, like, Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and they're, like, just, he's an extremely funny guy, and I'm wondering if just the Russian stoicism in his face, like, is just blocking what we're actually missing as sarcasm.
Maybe, man.
That's true. Like, you know, there are obviously just like regional things where it's like you get it or you don't.
And language
like
barriers, you know, like if he's speaking in Russian and saying these things to the media and it's getting translated, we're gonna lose that sarcasm, you know, in the mix.
That's
so
true.
it's like,
I never even thought of that.
I'd never thought of that until like after this fight, and then realizing, wait, he's a very funny guy on social media. Because like I saw like him like, oh, it's fight week, like, you know, him getting ready for fight week, he's running, like putting on like, you know, the UFC fight gear, putting on like his Sambo gear, and then like it's his kids in a sharpened gun with guns as he's running. It's like, dude is a hilarious guy, and I'm like,
yeah, I don't.
We've been missing this whole time.
It's so funny.
He's tricked us, like you said.
Because it was just an amazing game plan. Like, looking at the strikes landed by target, motherfucking Volkov going 42% to the head, 19% to the body, 38% to the legs.
Yeah,
constantly
he was eating them legs up.
Yeah, constantly kicking at the legs. On like the outside low calf kick. At one point, the commentary brought up like just the little indent on like Pavlovich's leg that you saw. It's like, just crazy. All the little front kicks, like, you know, just to the legs and to the body. It was just so good, man. Keeping the distance, staying, like, circling.
I was gonna say, he's even doing so good with his jabs, just bloodying up Sergey's nose, keeping him away. Like, bro, I have never seen Pavlovich look small. Like, I know Volkov is tall, but they said what? There was like a 3-inch difference in their height?
Yeah, they have Volkov at 6'7", Pavlovich at 6'4".
Bro, Sergey looked small in there. It was wild.
It
That's
was
the insane part. Yeah.
Just absolutely incredible. What a solid win for Volkov, man. Gonna get himself back. Where was he ranked at going into this one? He was ranked at number 5. I wasn't sure if he was still hanging around outside the top 5.
He was in the top 5. He'll definitely be he'll probably move up to number 4.
Yeah, because they'll probably bump Curtis up to 3. And but
it's like he's on a great streak right now. 4-fight winning streak, 3 finishes. Got a great decision over Sergey, the first person to bring him out of the first round in the UFC.
And it takes him all the way to decision.
And just so clean in it, man.
Didn't look like it had a single problem really in there. Like, was able to roll with the punches, be able to take off just enough power, be able to, like, when he jabbed, get like kind of like turn his shoulder in. So when he came over with the left hook, hitting him on the shoulder instead, like, he was doing so well in there.
I know, because I wanted to look up the stats and see like how many Sergey actually landed to the head, because like I don't ever remember like Volkov getting like with a clean power shot. You know what I mean? Like like Sergey's landing like good jabs, good little hooks. You know what I mean? But it's like anytime he loaded up on a big power shot, like it just wasn't landing. But it's like he landed. I think it was 38. Yeah, Sergey landed 38 significant strikes to the head, but nothing significant where Volkov was rocked or really hurt. He had Sergey looking more hurt at points than Volkov ever was. So just an amazing performance. Like you said, a great 4-fight win streak, constantly stepping up in just competition, just looking better and better.
Yeah, it started with Jar Jar, Romanov, Tai Tuivasa, and now Sergey.
Yeah, and it's just awesome for him, man. Just one of those things where with heavyweight, it's in such a fucked place right now that it's like, hopefully he can at least, like, for his next fight, he really should get like the winner of Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blades for an interim title like that.
Do you know what's funny with Volkov? Is like, let's say he does get ranked at number 4 and Curtis Blades is pushed up. All his losses are to the 3 people above him.
He lost to Curtis Blades, lost to Cyril, lost to
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one outside of that is Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
Way back
Yeah,
in what,
2018.
2018. And that was where I was like, Volkov needs to, like, in the third round, like, even though he was winning and he was dominating, I saw that before against Derek Lewis. If he got lazy on any of that and got tired, all of a sudden Derek Lewis type style, just overhand right, all of a sudden, boom, goes down.
It's really funny because, like, actually with that, like, I saw the Weasel breaking it down, and it was like Derek Lewis finishing Volkov in that fashion was the same exact thing of Whittaker and Ikram. Like, literally, both of them lead left knee throwing that, and they both, on the left angle, throw the right hand to land, and then, just get the finish. Like, literally the same shit. Kind of funny, like, just both, like, Whittaker, like, that on, and then Volkov fighting on this card, too. But, yeah, man, just awesome for Volkov. Definitely should be in a title fight. If he doesn't get that, then they'll probably put him in a fight with
Bryce Errol Gone.
Yeah, that's like the only other thing that makes sense.
Fight for really either of them, because for Cyril, like, it'd have to go all the way down at that point, either to Pavlovich, who just lost, or Almeida.
Yeah, so let's fucking go.
Heavyweight's fucked up in the top 10 right now.
Yes, very much so. The featured bout, though.
I kind of have something to say about this because it dawned on me this morning. Kelvin Gastelum's kind of a piece of shit.
Why do you say that?
Yes.
Well, because this man knew damn well he was not making 170.
Yes.
And he waits until fight week to say that he's not going to make weight when D-Rod already is in the process of
getting ready for a 170-pound fight.
Yes, he's already, like, he's focused his camp around cutting weight and making weight, and he's already started the process of cutting weight.
Yes.
Yep.
And now you say that you cannot make weight. Let's fucking just move up a whole weight class.
Yep.
Couldn't even, like, this is where it's damning for me. Some people will try to defend it. The damning part is he couldn't even make 180. That's the damning part.
Because I saw something that, like, apparently Kelvin said that he would have done, like, a 175-pound catch weight, but then it was D-Rod's camp that said 185.
I'm calling bullshit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything around it.
Honest.
It's like, obviously I was already like, bro, like, Kelvin, like, that's fucking crazy, you know what I mean? Because he made a fucking YouTube video a month ago talking about missing weight, trying these tacos, you know? But it just dawned on me this morning, like, the actual way he went about it and how it was done and the effects on D-Rod it had, you know? Like, I never took that into consideration, you know?
No, because, so, like, with all that, it was supposed to be at 170 pounds. Fight takes place at 185 pounds. Kelvin Gastelum wins a unanimous decision over D-Rod. And he looks so much bigger in there than him. Like, he looked like how he normally does when he fights at 185 pounds. Like that. Like that.
Which is why I'm kind of like on Bisping's side when he says, I don't even think he was trying to cut weight during this training camp. I don't even think he attempted to.
No, like,
he looked exactly like he did at 185 normally. Like, if you had been trying to make weight, and even if you couldn't make 175 or whatever, and you could have made 180, but like the UFC said, no, we'll just do 185 because we don't like catch weights, and I know they do that a lot.
Yeah.
You wouldn't look the same.
And that's why I was saying, like, I know, like, he's known he wasn't making weight. And it's just now you announce this shit, that's so fucked up, bro. No. That's dirty as hell.
Yeah.
Like,
he was, like, there were a lot of real good shots that, like, D-Rod was landing throughout that fight, that it's like, if he was actually going down to 170, drained, cutting, dude probably would have gotten finished by those shots.
D-Rod
but, like,
outstruck him
because it's like, bro, fucking Kelvin versus Sean Brady, man. As soon as that fight started going, instantly I was like, this is not the same Kelvin Gastelum. He looks slow. He looks sluggish. He is not moving his head. He's like, he looks stuck in the fucking mud in that fight. Looks so goddamn bad. The head movement on Kelvin in this fight, that's what I mean. Fought exactly as good. Like, this was a good Kelvin Gastelum at 185 pounds. This was the dude that fucking worked his way up to get an interim title shot against Israel Adesanya. Like, he was supposed to win this fight. And, yeah, man, it was just, it definitely is really shitty when, like, just kind of thinking about it, and it's like, yeah, man. Like,
the way he did this,
it's like, because
it's not like
good on him to get the win,
but
like, it just
sucks. I will say congratulations to D-Rod. Like, even though he lost, he got a new 6-fight contract, got a pay increase. and got 30% of Kelvin's purse.
Nice.
Good for him.
Nice.
So
he probably made a good bag for that then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
he
happy
made a
about
bag.
that for him then.
and he's
Yeah.
making more of a bag because he got a pay increase with that new 6-fight contract. So
It's one of those
It
things
just-
though where it's hard because he's older and like,
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
No,
it
I
just
know.
sucks because it's like bro's 37 years old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, he already doesn't have a shot at 170 if we're being real for anything. Because just looking at statistics and shit at 170 and lower, it's
but,
like
he's also lost to like some decent but not great people as well. Like
Yeah.
I don't.
Like, he's
I was
been
never
around.
expecting him to do anything at 170 like
no,
that.
yeah, but I mean, even just like hitting the rankings or like just you know what I mean, doing a little bit more, being
yeah.
you know what I mean, things like that. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
eh.
I
And then
feel
now
like
like
they
losing the decision to Kelvin, it's just like it sucks
Yeah.
for him. You know, he could have won and got
No,
a
it
paycheck.
does.
Instead, he's on a 3-fight winning streak. I mean, losing streak.
Yeah, but again, like Neil Magny was a Darce joke. Ian Machado Gary, like literally, we're looking at as potentially a title contender or a title holder at some point.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's not on
And
like the
then
worst
Kelvin.
streak, but like just slowly finding
No,
his way out of the rankings. It's like just losing that next fight. You
Yeah.
know, it just sucks.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to see who they try to book him up against in his next fight because D-Rod does want to stay at 170. Like he has made that abundantly
Yeah, that's
clear.
his-
Like,
that's
even
his
though
weight.
he feels good at 185 because he doesn't have to cut that weight. It's obviously not his weight class, and he knows that.
Yeah, not at all.
I wouldn't mind seeing him in fights like that are more bit more like, vet fights, old man fights, like him versus Alex Morano. I wouldn't mind that. I feel like that'd be a really fun fight actually, now I think about
fuck
it.
up Alex Morano, probably.
But that would
yeah.
be a fun fight.
No, yeah, for sure. Definitely something like that. Just, yeah. Let him get some good fights in, hopefully some good wins, just kind of finish out his career. Making a little bit of extra money, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to like give him like 2 vet fights, then like, oh, we got this up and comer who's like, doing pretty good, but we're not sure where he's at, throw him D-Rod, see what happens, and then, I think that'd be a perfect like just kind of rest of his career for him.
Oh, yeah. Natural order of UFC matchmaking for sure. But yeah,
Yes.
Kelvin gets it done. The next fight on this one, Shara Magomedov versus Antonio Trocoli, sorry, it's broccoli with a T. This wasn't great at all. It's like Shara clearly has some good skills with the kicks and like he's a very solid kickboxer, but you can very much see that he's a kickboxer coming in. Like he doesn't have a full skill set at all. Dude does not even have hands at all. Like literally was just basically throwing leg kicks and like a few body kicks, a few spin or big kicks up top here or there, few punches, but like this dude is not gonna do anything at 185 pounds, especially not being able to fight in most places at all. And then fucking Antonio Trocoli, man, that third round. This dude was so exhausted, man. That was crazy to see.
I'll admit, he has a bit more of an excuse, even though he did do a training camp for last week. Wasn't he coming in short notice last week as well?
I think so, but it's like,
But then he completely dropped out, was not expecting to fight, and then gets the call on Wednesday, has to fly out Thursday. While cutting weight again.
Yeah, dude's also 6'5" at 185 pounds as well.
So he's big.
Just watching him sit there or stand there in the third round and getting punched and just standing there. He was not throwing anything. I just went to the stats because I was curious in what he threw. Round 3, he threw 6 strikes.
Oh, see, I was about to say 7.
I'm surprised he even threw that much. I don't even remember him attempting that much.
He didn't land any.
Were they in the clinch?
0 for 6.
Oh, they weren't even in the clinch. Fuck.
Yeah.
And he got finished 2.5 minutes into the round.
By the time Shara was like, oh, he's so exhausted, I could just actually punch him and put a combo on him. Got him out of there. But it just... Yeah, man, Shara is not going to do shit in this division. He had Bo Nacco calling him out, give me the bullet. Dude... Probably get subbed round 1.
Which is funny because Shara, he was asked about Nickel. He said, I am, he's worked on his wrestling. I'm Dagestan, I'm not going to lose to shit wrestler or some shit like that. And I'm just like here like, dude, you haven't even fought someone who actually like really wrestles like that. that shield, that knee shield you were doing, yeah, Tricoli wasn't doing anything really because honestly, that gets switched into a single. You try to defend another way, get switched to a power double, you get slammed to the ground. Like there was no transitional attack from Tricoli
Yeah.
in this fight in the grappling. It was get you up on the cage and try to trip you out.
Yeah.
That's not what Bo Nickel's gonna do. Bo Nickel's gonna be switching up the takedown. He's going to chain his takedown attempts into multiple takedown attempts until he gets you down.
Yeah. Just a completely different level of grappling. Yeah. And especially with 185, how it's starting, like we're getting a lot more good grapplers coming up in that division as well, and like at the top 15. So it's definitely going to be rough for the undefeated Chara Bullet.
I was about to say someone else who I'm like Andre Muniz would be a really interesting fight for this guy.
Yeah. It's just going to be hard to with just time. Like timelines is going to be the most thing for him because he's only going to fight. Yeah.
Because of his eye, he legitimately cannot fight just about anywhere.
Yeah. Main card opener though, we knew that this was gonna be wacky and it was gonna probably end pretty quickly. Volkan Oezdemir gets it done over Johnny Walker, 228 of round 1.
Johnny always getting knocked out in the worst way possible.
Yeah. Always just the fucking cartoon fucking knockouts, you know what I mean? Like it's just like dude gets dropped so bad fucking to the floor and then just the uppercut from Volkan just stiffens his body straight out. Like it was so bad, man. He has 9 losses now, 6 of them or I believe, or is it 7?
It's 6.
Okay, 6, yeah. 6 of them by KO TKO. I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where it's like as long as he's fighting top 15 guys, like he can easily just get starched incredibly bad. Like I don't really know where Johnny Walker's gonna go from here, how much longer he's really gonna hang around. Volkan Oezdemir, very solid win for him though. Just number 9 versus number 7, I believe, coming in. It's getting a little bit closer. 2-fight win streak now.
I will say this. This is an actual MMA reporter. I won't say who, but their question was, should Johnny Walker move up to heavyweight? Yes, his chin is not good and heavyweights hit harder, but maybe his athleticism and no weight cut could help.
Honestly, I was kind of like even just thinking that just now, you know what I mean? But like it's just one of those things where like he's only at a certain level and it's like in all reality, like even fighting guys below his level, you're fighting at 205 in heavyweight, one clean shot, he's going like he can go down and get knocked the fuck out.
No, and that's the thing. It's like because here's the thing with it, right? I'm just trying to think, how does that work? Because he moves up to heavyweight right now, right? Who are you putting him up against?
Unranked fighters.
Because you're either doing that or you're having to put him up against, because he's still top 50 at light heavyweight. If you're like, oh well, we're gonna give him a ranked guy. All right, who's the numbers? Who's outside the top 10? Who's like 11 and 12? Oh, that's Derek Lewis and Jairzinho Rosenstruck. It's like
no, not at all.
Yeah, nah, I'm good.
Like he should not be fighting top 15 fighters. That's just really what.
It's like he's got a level. Like the fact he's still going to be ranked and potentially like, I'm not sure who he beats actually. Now I'm really looking at the top 15. Like he might be able to beat Dom Reyes just because wacky shit. But I'm not sure he beats really anyone else at this point in the top 15. I think he's just going to lose out of the top 15.
No, yeah, 100%. But yeah, so good for Volkan, sad for Johnny. We'll see what happens with them. Prelims, though, not the most exciting action. Had a whole lot of decisions on the prelims. It very much helped the fun of how many fights in a row of not a knockout in the new UFC gloves, you know? Kate, what's your big takeaway or big thing to mention from the Saudi Arabia prelims?
It went to a split decision, but Nasrat Haqparast versus Jared Gordon was a great fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
They put on a great fight. Nasrat was definitely looking real good in there. Like you can tell that as he's getting older, he's definitely getting a little bit better. But I think he's just gonna be here for fun fights.
Yeah, a lot of people are
Yeah.
upset with that decision and think that Jared Gordon got robbed.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he got robbed, but I feel like that fight could have gone either way.
It was
I'm not
just
gonna lie.
like it was
so close.
really
Yeah.
close, but to me, I thought that Nasrat won rounds 1 and 3. Like,
Yeah.
Like
That was definitely one where it was just wacky and fun, like just going after it. I wasn't really like thinking too much of like the scoring in my head. But it like I can easily see like 1 and 3 for Nasrat for sure. But yeah, it was just kind of surprising just seeing that everyone's like, oh, Jared Gordon just can't win it.
yeah, it was just a fun fight to me though.
Yeah, should have been fight of the night, but they gave out 4 performance bonuses. Everyone that got a finish, right?
It was Whittaker, Shara, Vulcan, and Felipe Lima, who is making his debut and got the 3rd round RNC over Muhammad Naimov.
yeah, all finishes.
Oh, was that all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that
really
was all
funny.
the finishes.
Yeah, 4 finishes.
One
yeah.
sub,
bad.
3 sub,
Yep.
1 sub, 3 knockouts. Yeah.
But yeah,
Fair
Felipe Lima coming in on short notice, take on Muhammad Naimov. This motherfucker is good as hell.
Yeah.
Yes, he
He's a bantamweight. Normally came in at 145 pounds, take on Naimov. This dude is probably
Yeah.
going to do some very solid work at 135 pounds. 13-1
Oh,
now.
Yeah, he's not big.
No.
5'6", 68-inch reach.
Yeah, not at all. But
Which is funny because I'm pretty
very
sure
fun.
Naimov is not that much taller. Oh, 5'9". He did not look that much bigger than that much taller than Felipe in there.
no, not at all.
But either way, his one loss was
Yeah.
in his professional debut against someone who was 2-0, and since then he is now on a 11 and
13 fight win streak.
13 fight win
win
streak.
streak.
I love to see that kind of shit. Just
Came
like my boy
in-
Jack Del Maddalena, you know what I mean?
I was about to
Loses
say,
first
came
2,
in-
all undefeated since.
Came in as Octagon, had to vacate the Octagon Bantamweight Championship. Comes in, gets a win. He's gonna do really good, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially
fucking
after
go.
that fucking RNC.
Hell yeah.
Because that came out like nowhere, if I remember. Like it was like he got him down, and then all of a sudden, like quickly just took the back and just wrapped it the fuck up.
Yeah.
He was so good.
Yeah. Very solid. Ginger, anything else on the prelims that you feel like bringing up?
Renat versus Dalby.
Yeah.
Close fight, and I'm seeing a lot of people on this one like split. Not like so much in a robbery sense, but like, no, I think Dalby won that fight. No, things like that. I'm definitely like watching. I was like, yeah, this is gonna go either way. I really cannot tell who won this fight. But I thought it was like one of those things where it's like, all right, Renat, I like you. You're a fun fighter. You're not going to be doing much in this division. Just kind of like Shar. It's like I see him having fun fights, but I feel like once he gets like a couple guys in like that top 15 range, he's definitely going to start taking losses.
Yeah, another one, because what is he, 32 already?
I believe.
Yeah.
Bro, when he started just slugging it out with Dalby and his fucking arms just swinging back and forth,
Yeah.
I was just like, holy shit, bro. Like this is so bad.
Yeah.
Like,
That was fun,
Yeah.
though.
yeah, it was, but it's like,
It
oh
was.
my god. Like, yeah.
But it was one of those things where I'm like, please, Dalby, just land one.
Yeah, for, like, to just be, like, thinking of him, like, fighting top 15 fighters and stuff like that is, like, definitely should be doing a bit better against Nicholas Dalby, even though he's very solid as, like, an elder fighter, you know what I mean? But it's, like...
It's solid as
rough,
if he was, like, more elder, like, 34, 35, I'd be, like...
39, right?
But 32... I think... His Tapology... This is one of the reasons why I don't trust Tapology because it is like one of those things where it's users as a whole do these rankings and kind of how it happens. They have him at number 16 overall in the world.
Who?
He is nowhere near that.
Dalby?
No, we're not.
Oh.
They have Dalby at 17.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Renat was ranked for a little bit, and then he got bumped out with MVP getting put in, so...
No, I know, but you gotta remember this is also including like Bellator fighters, PFL fighters,
True.
all fighters. Like,
No, yeah,
I
very
don't
true,
think
very true.
they have him over Zaleski, Michael Morales, which actually I think
Elijah Zaleski dos Santos?
Yes.
I mean, what, they had the draw,
no,
but
I
like
get
he was
that.
beating him and then just had the bad third round. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, and then lost
understand
to
that.
Randy Brown.
Body
I
shot,
understand
right?
it, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like there are a lot of guys under here who could beat him.
It's
I just don't know who
very
you put him
possible.
against next.
I don't
'Cause
know.
again, like, you know what? I like bringing him up in fights because he's always down for a fun fight. Brian Battle.
That would be a really good fight.
Yeah. Wait.
I like that fight a lot.
No, didn't he already fuck up Brian Battle?
We're not?
Yeah.
Oh
Did
yeah,
Yeah. That.
Was
Yeah.
that short notice?
22.
Yeah. That
He
was
was
damn.
supposed to fight Michael Morales actually, and in step Brian Battle.
Yeah. He just said that. I
No.
was like, wait a minute. Yeah, like I remember him taking that. We were just like, Brian, why'd you do that? That was so stupid.
Yeah.
And then he
Oh,
got
yeah.
fucking battered.
Yeah.
And we were
Yep.
just like, yep, that was bad. Yeah. As
Right,
soon as you said
well,
that, I was like,
Michael
wait.
about
They're
that.
supposed to fight, so Michael Morales, let's go.
Yeah, that. I mean,
I like that fight for Michael.
Because, like, yeah, since then, Battle had the finish over Gabe Green, beat AJ Fletcher, no contest with Angelusa.
Yep.
But, yes, Michael Morales would probably be a better one to go back to, honestly.
No, yeah. Unless they want to, like, give him someone in the top 15. And if they give him someone in the top 15, more than likely at this point, it has to be Neil Magny.
Yeah. Yeah, he can get that done. But those are all the big fights to talk about. UFC Saudi Arabia, let's go. Last little mention, we did have some draft results from that card. Motherfucking Kate catching up, tying the overall wins with me. 10 wins on the draft now. I got one less loss, but her fighters are just too goddamn active. I don't know if I can compete. Goes 2-0 on this card.
Wait, because who were my 2 wins again?
You had Renat, and then
Volkov.
you had
Renat
Volkov.
and Volkov. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Two solid wins there. Ginger goes 0-1 on the draft for Saudi. One loss being Johnny Walker. Very sad.
Walker.
Gets starts twice this year so far for him.
Yeah.
And Jim
I'm
Bobby
not
and have
doing
no
good
fighters.
with that.
Yeah, so
I was
I
about to say,
have a perfect record on Saudi along with Kate. Let's go.
Next week I got
And-
3 fighters on the card.
Yeah, I know. I'm fucking updating the draft. And I was like, oh shit, Kate got 2 wins. Oh no, she's tied with me. And then I was like, wait, next week. And I was like, oh no, she's got 3 fighters.
Yeah.
She's got 3. Me
Myra-
and Ginger only got 1. It's
Yeah, because I got Myra Bueno Silva, Ricky Simone, and Peyton Talbot.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll probably go 2-1.
Potentially 1 and 2, but you're definitely getting 1 win.
Potentially 3-0 is like
Yeah.
it's not
That's
like
the thing,
Macy's the best
can go
grappler. Like
3-0.
Myra could take her down supper. I would not be surprised at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one of those things. Like, yeah, you honestly could have run the gambit on any of that.
I would love a Macy
Uh,
win though, so
God,
I'm
fucking
kind of throwing away my own record right now.
Jimmy 10-5, Katie 10-6, me 7-10.
We all
got
have a 10.
Yeah, let's go in the perfect fashion. And then it's also just funny 5, 6, 7 too. As well. But yeah, and then for me, I have I got Ian Gary, but I've been rooting for him to lose, so I guess I gotta switch up now, and now I guess Ian Gary's
Yes.
winning Ray Caden.
Let's
I'm
go.
very sad. But yeah, those are the draft results. We will see how they all continue to play out for the rest of the year. Let's
At
go.
this point, I just need to. I'm on my Michael Johnson right now. I just need to get back up to even, and then I can get over.
Oh, I don't know, man. You got some rough fights ahead of you for sure. That is
Yeah.
true.
Look,
We'll see how it all
at-
plays out.
When Marab and Sean fight, I'm at least going 1-1 on that one. Like, there's
Yep, still not
Hopefully.
getting you closer to even though. It doesn't make a difference, so I don't know why you brought that up.
what's gonna end up happening is they'll go to a fucking draw or some shit.
Oh man,
Does
but
that count as 2?
2 draws,
At
yeah.
that point.
Yeah,
Jeez.
like a no cause wasn't it last year I got 2 of my fighters for a no contest, so I had 2 no
oh
contests.
my god, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But that's the end of this podcast. I hope everyone enjoyed this one. Like and subscribe if you did. We will catch you on the next one. Oh, the preview to UFC 303 International Fight Week. Let's go. Peace out, everyone.